no intention of being here. So, colleagues, I've just been discussing with the committee secretary. The time slots are for the platforms for parliamentary meetings do seem to be packed. We'll find the earliest opportunity. If we do not secure a time slot at the end of the day, we will postpone the SIU briefing, which is scheduled for next week, so that we can bring this matter to a conclusion. So we will find a time slot at the earliest convenience as Parliament is ready. If not, we will have to find a time slot after hours because normal programming is resuming. I do want to say so. I'm hopeful that we will meet by next week. Unfortunately, meetings on Fridays have been taken off Parliament's schedule, so we will meet next week. On that, we will communicate the date once we have secured that time slot. In the interim, colleagues, what I will do is I will consult with Parliamentary Legal Services because we reserve our right to subpoena the liquidator and ask them to be preparing so long with the concurrence of the House chairperson responsible for committees and the Speaker's office, because it's the Speaker who has got the authority to issue the subpoenas. And so we will be in a process now and get those subpoenas ready in the event that we continue to find ourselves at loggerheads with these liquidators. So I will engage in that legal process in earnest and with the necessary speed in which it deserves. Might I add that the same process will have to apply insofar as the SAA business rescue practitioners are concerned, because up to now, colleagues, we have not received the information which we require. So we are going to engage in a two-pronged process to subpoena the liquidators on one hand and the business practitioners on one hand. In the meantime, what we'll be doing, we'll be making preparations for our meeting. And
is it only me? I'm struggling to hear the chair.
Am I audible?
Absolutely,
no, you are
very
clear.
Yeah. So I think, colleagues, let's be systematic in that outlook, and we will prepare. So what I was saying, I hope I'm audible to you now. What I'm saying is that we are going to secure a date in the committee's program at the earliest convenience and within Parliament's program for the liquidators to appear before us. But what we will do as a parallel process to that is to be engaging with Parliamentary Legal Services, the House chairperson responsible for committees, and the Speaker's office for the preparation of subpoenas. So in the event that they do not appear, they will be subpoenaed. It's not fait accompli that just because they've been granted the extension by the court, that it means now we must stave off insofar as oversight and our responsibilities are concerned. No. In fact, it forms part and parcel of the reporting which they are obliged to perform to Parliament. So we are not going to suspend our own parliamentary responsibilities and obligations, and we expect the liquidators to appear before us. So we reserve our right to subpoena, and we will exercise it should the need actually arise. So, colleagues, I think that in the absence of any other comment, I would like to make that as a proposal to you, and then I will, with your approval, I will get the ball rolling, the officials of our committee, so that we can set up for the next meeting. I do want to conclude with this point, and then I'll hand over to you, colleagues, is that the kind of behavior which we are seeing being engaged, brought in to stabilize and sort things out, certainly does inspire confidence from where I'm sitting. We are gambling with the sustainable livelihoods of workers on one hand and testing the already fragile South African economy on the other hand, with the kind of behavior which they are employing. As far as I see it, it's unprofessional, it's unacceptable, and the fact that we find ourselves in this situation again today is indicative of people who have got an allergy to oversight and accountability. So we need to, colleagues, dig in and not be deterred in our noble constitutional responsibilities of performing duties. So with that commitment on our side, I'll hand over to you, colleagues. That's the roadmap I'm proposing. And then we will give you an update. I'll send an internal memo insofar as developments tomorrow, so that colleagues are up to date insofar as to where things are. All right, colleagues, any other comments? Going once?
I'm great.
Your summary, Chair, does capture our propositions.
All right, colleagues, are we all good? All right.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Mr. Leeds.
Mazamba. Thank you. Mr. Chairman, it's very brief. I mean, the DM says he wasn't aware of this, and that's very disappointing in the sense that the BRPs sent a message out or consulted with the unions, and I was informed. I got a copy of a message at 9:03 this morning, which was circulated by the unions, indicating that this application was going to take place this morning or sometime today. And so it's somewhat disappointing that DPE, I mean, I was aware of it at 9 o'clock this morning, that the DPE were not aware of it. I mean, I just don't understand how that can be. And I would ask the minister to see what is happening in his department, that they're not even monitoring as closely as I am. Thanks, Mr. Chairman.
All right, Honourable Mente.
No, Chair, I'm fully captured with what you are saying, but my interest is that this extension, which is unnecessary, is also a very superficial way of getting salaries that are undue to these people. They are unduly benefiting now, DM. One, if they had started liquidation, there were reasons that informed them and influenced the liquidation process. What is it that they don't know today, that they are not finalizing what they have started? Meantime, the workers and the SA Express facilities are in danger under them. They have even given access to people, the lessees, the technicians, and everyone who's not staff of SA Express into the premises of SA Express. Meantime, the same company is under liquidation, and the damage is getting bigger than we think it is. By the time they are ultimately getting to a point of liquidating, there will be nothing left of SA Express. Why this extension? Why did they ask for an extension? Because the reasons that they are providing are really not sitting well with me. In fact, they are cooked reasons. They know why they are liquidating. They have the documents that are informing them of the financial status of the SA Express. What's the need for an extension now? Can we not then pay them for an extension for the work they were supposed to have finished in 25 days of their appointment in the SA Express as the business rescue, and then they turn themselves into liquidators? I'm really not satisfied, Chairperson, because there are payments that are in place here, and these people must not be paid, not at all, for extending their own work or their own scope of work, and even exceeding the time frame that are stipulated in the policies of the department. Thank you.
All right. No, we will raise all those matters. They are all part of the difficult discussion that we have. These are not easy matters, but I'm quite certain that we as a committee are equal to the task at hand, and these tactics being employed do not deter us. So we will forge ahead with that. I think DM, I think when we next meet, we would also request a situation where we get a schedule of payments for the liquidators. How much have they cost us so far? And then we will take it from there to them with them in terms of their own projections and forecasting. In the meantime, colleagues, let us all do our preparatory work and understand what's going on better. We will be circulating briefing notes if necessary. And by the looks of things, colleagues, we will meet next Wednesday at 12. I think that's the time slot which is seemingly available to us, which will then mean we will meet with SA Express at 12 on Wednesday, and then meet with ESCOM at 3 o'clock afternoon. So we'll have a full day session then next week. But it seems as if we're winning with that. And thank you, Sister Tombi, Ben, for moving with speed. But we will begin the process of preparing the subpoenas regardless, so that we don't waste time should things go south again next week. DM, I saw your hand up, and then we will bring it to a close. Good to see you, Acting DG.
Thank you, Chair. I also thought I would just add something. I'll do so after DM has spoken.
Well, let's get you, and then the DM will speak. DM, let's give you the last bite, so let's give the Acting DG. Right, Acting DG?
Yeah, well, thank you, Honorable Chair, and good afternoon to honorable members. Chair, Honorable Liz had raised a concern with regard to the department not being aware of the proceedings this morning. We had understood his question differently. He was asking whether we had been involved in any way with the matters that were heard this morning. And as DM responded, we were not involved. But we were aware, and as it had been communicated, that today was supposed to be the date for the liquidation hearing. So I just thought I'd just correct that. Chair, on the schedule of payments, the department would not be involved in the payments. Both the BRPs and the liquidators, being in total control of the business, are literally paying themselves. So the schedule of payments that the chair is requesting, that could be an additional question that could be put into the proof for the liquidators when they come in as to how much they have been paid.
That's fine. We'll do that. Understood. All right. Thanks, Acting DG. Mr. Yonampati. Right. Hello.
Hello, Chair. No, thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair. Can I proceed, Chair?
Yes, Yonampati, so you can proceed.
No, thank you, Chair. I firstly would like to thank the honourable members. Thank the fact that we have now next Wednesday for the engagement, and we will endeavour on our side to make sure that it is as meaningful, in that all the information should be with the committee in good time so that we're ready on Wednesday. May I just say, Chair, that we are also somewhat in a new terrain we're traversing somewhat with this, because frankly speaking, none of it is taking place at the instance of the department, so to speak. Firstly, it started with the business rescue practitioners. They came about as a consequence of one interested party taking the matter to court. And our courts, as we know them, on the basis of facts before them, they are concurred with the business rescue with the process. And whilst we were looking into the business rescue process, the business rescue practitioners went back to court again to apply for liquidation. Again, we were not in that process. That liquidation order provisionally was granted, and the court again appointed the liquidator. So we're dealing with the process that is circumscribed by our laws, and then I think we're trying as hard not to be obstructive, but also to understand and to be able to, where we can, influence the process going forward. To the extent, Chair, some of the other things that have been made by way of comments from the honourable members, they can best be dispensed with when we have with us the liquidator, which we will make sure that in the next meeting the liquidators will be there. Thank you very much, Chair. Apologies again to the honourable members for the inconvenience.
Okay. Colleagues, I'm advised that before we close, I must get the committee to, in a form of a vote, the issue of the subpoenas, the preparation of that. So it needs to be, so I put the question to members. Those in agreement will show hands or just indicate, colleagues, your vote, so that it has to be a resolution. That's what I'm advised. So, right, can I go members? Honorable Somyo.
I agree, Chair.
Okay, Honorable Peace.
Favor.
Mr. Mazamban.
In favor.
Okay. Honorable Machau.
Chairperson, I'm in favor of subpoena.
Honorable Mente.
100% agreed, Chair.
Honorable Dirks. Honorable Dirks. Wait, offline. Honorable Swart.
Honorable Chair.
Agreed, Chair.
Okay, Honorable Dirks.
No, Honorable Chair, I have nothing to say at this stage. I'm just listening and observing what is going on.
I'm putting the question to gain approval for pursuing the subpoenas. Are you in agreement or not?
Just let me, I will not make any comment at this stage, Chair.
Okay, that's fine. Honorable Hadebe.
Chair, I've lost connection. I've just rejoined now, so I don't even know what's happening. Can you please pass? Did not form part of any declaration and discussion.
Mr. Chairman, Honourable van Minen is not well, and I had thought that her apology was in.
It's in the record, that's fine.
It might be on the record, but she's not well, yeah.
Okay, we wish her a speedy recovery. Thank you very much. Hope she gets well soon. Honorable Zibula, I think she's also on the apologies, right? All right, I think I've got everyone. Okay, no, that's fine. Mrs. Tombe, I'm sure you've captured that. All right. So
maybe my colleague from Peter Maritzburg is woken up now.
Mazamane, please behave yourself. All right.
Are you a Sangoma? You're guessing correctly.
Marcos. All right, Honorable Dex, how are you voting?
On which one are we voting, Honorable Chair?
On the question was whether to proceed with the purposes of preparing subpoenas. Honorable Tolashe, I missed you, sorry.
Honorable Tolashe has indicated on the group, I think she has a problem with connection.
Okay, there are no, she has. All right, colleagues, no, it's fine. I think we have got the approval. So we'll proceed with that. It's by committee resolution. So we'll prepare those. in the event that we run into further difficulties, we will set those into motion and set up the modalities of that meeting, which will be on the basis of subpoena. So, colleagues, without any waste of time, I think we can bring the meeting to a close. DM and your team, thank you very much. Colleagues, thank you also, and I'm sure that we will be sending through to you the necessary correspondence. Please do be safe, and let's meet at the house sitting at 2 o'clock. I think, yeah, we were pressed for time, but things took a different turn. They went south and became pear-shaped. So we will leave it at that, and we will communicate further. So from my side, do take care and Godspeed. Thank you very much.
1 minute, Chairperson.
Yeah.
Just 1 minute. Yes. Chairperson.
Yes.
Chairperson. Although I did not vote, Chair, I am in support with what the committee is doing by subpoenaing the liquidator if he does not appear the next time. Although I didn't vote, but I'm in agreement with that. I have no problem with that. It's not
fine. We will enter that into the schedule of the votes. That is perfectly fine. Mazambane, I tried today. Next week I'll have a tie. Yabo, I'm progressing. On that note, colleagues,
I'm very disappointed.
All right, colleagues, thank you very much, and let's all be safe. Take care. We shall meet at 2 o'clock in the house sitting. DM and your team, thank you very much.
The Standing Committee on Public Accounts discussing SA Express there. The chairperson, Khuleko Slengwa, saying that there is a need to subpoena the SA Express liquidators. Alf Lees, which is the kind of general commentary around public enterprises, now lambasting the ministry, saying that they didn't really know what was going on. The DG, the acting DG of public enterprises, saying that they do know what's happening, they just weren't part of court action. Veronica Mente saying that the liquidators and business rescue practitioners should not be working for longer. If they wanted to liquidate SA Express now, they should do it now. All they're doing is making extra money for themselves. So those were some of the views that came out of that. They're going to reconvene next week, and we will keep you updated on what's happening there.